What's going on, Mini Roaders? If this is not your first time tuning into the channel, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel. Before I get started with today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to the Collection Florida and Ferrari of Miami for letting me review this beautiful 812 Superfast. Now, they gave me the trust to be able to review this car and the F8 Tributo, which you'll see in another video. But oh my god, I'm so excited. So huge shout out to them and thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. But anyways, guys, let's get started with today's video. All right, guys, so right here I have this 2019 812 Superfast, and of course right next to it is a 2020 F8 Tributo. And the reason I have them next to each other is just because it's easier for me to compare some similarities that they do have. So I'll get to that later. But first of all, I want to talk about the front end of this car and the horsepower numbers on this car. So this car is a naturally aspirated V12, and of course it has plenty of power. It has 788 horsepower and 529 pound-feet of torque. And of course, if you don't think that's fast enough, just check out these numbers. It literally goes from 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, which is insane. And this car does weigh 3,600 pounds. So just to put in perspective, it maybe weighs as much as a Camaro or a Mustang or maybe even a WRX. Put that in perspective and think about the horsepower difference that those cars have. And yeah, just think about that real quick. But anyways, probably the front end has to be my favorite part of this car, just because of that beautiful big grille that it has there. And of course, that's to cool the big engine that's under that hood. Remember, it is a V12, so that airflow just goes right to it, cools it down. And of course, there's two more air ducts on either side by the headlights, which look very aggressive, and that's for more cooling and aerodynamics as well. As you can see that it comes through here and it comes out through here, so you can vent the hot air through there. So that's pretty cool as well. And then if you go here inside the wheel well, you do notice that right here you do see another vent there, so you could, that way it cools whatever hot air is coming through there, and it provides a little bit more of aerodynamic, so that way the air comes out through there and it keeps the car a little bit more planted as well. So that's super nice. But guys, I absolutely love this car. I love the headlights. I mean, just everything about this car is so aggressive. Even looking at the body lines of this car, especially in white, that you could see it. Look at the body lines on the door and everything, how beautiful it looks. It goes around the rear fender, around the tire, and it just looks fantastic. So I don't know, guys, what do you think? drop a comment down below and tell me what you guys think of this car. I absolutely love it. But anyways, let's talk about these wheels and these brakes that are huge. All right, guys, so I want to talk about these tires and the brakes and everything about this 812 Superfast, because I'm in love with this car. The first thing I want to touch is these brakes. There are 15.7 inches in the front and 14.2 in the rear, and of course they are carbon ceramic, so let's just make sure this car stops on a dime. And they are surrounded by these 20-inch wheels throughout the entire car. They're all 20-inch wheels, and let me tell you, I love how these wheels look on this car, especially with this matte black. It kind of gives it a nice touch with the accent of the rest of the car, like the side skirt that's also matte black, and in the front there's also like a nice little splitter that's matte black as well, so it ties in everything very nicely. So I absolutely love it. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, these tires are Pirelli P0 tires, and that's just to put the power on the ground and have super sticky tires, so I could do 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. All right, guys, so now moving to the rest of the car, I really absolutely love how this car looks. And of course, I already talked about the body lines and how it flows so well. And there is another vent back here right next to a gas cap, which is absolutely looks very nice, but is also, of course, functional as well. Everything, all the vents in Ferrari are functional, so this just looks aggressive and it's functional. So it's great. But I want to come back here and I want to just point out this beautiful diffuser that this this 812 has, because in my opinion is one of the most aggressive diffusers I've seen. And there's of course a quad tip exhaust, makes a world of a difference. But now we get to the part of why I have these two cars next to each other. So I don't know if you guys noticed already, but the taillights on this 812 Superfast and the F8 Tributo are pretty identical. So let me just get closer here, so you can tell that these are two circular tail lights as well, and then here in the F8 Tributo are the same thing. So you could tell the F8 Tributo took it from this 812, and you can just sit back and kind of compare it, and it's just a cool thing to see these two cars together, in my opinion. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna stake by here because there's this bit that I do on all my car reviews, that is to see if I could fit a set of golf clubs into the rear of all the cars that are reviewed. So do you think I'll be able to fit my golf clubs into the rear of this A12 Superfast? I don't know. Let's find out. All right, guys. All right, I lost my balance there. But anyways, guys, all right. So let's see if the golf clubs could fit. So numbers real quick on the trunk space of this car. It's 17 cubic feet of storage, and it's actually pretty big. It looks bigger than what you think it might be, and the layout is actually very different. So anyways, I have my golf clubs right here, so let's see if we could actually fit it into the trunk of this A12 Superfast. So of course, let me just show you the key real quick. It's red, it has Ferrari on it, it's very heavy, I love it. And right here you have the button to pop the trunk open. So there you go, you see that it opens up. So let me open it before I take the clubs. You just lift it up right there, bam. And let me take my trusty golf clubs. I have my golf clubs right here, and I'm gonna put it in there. And guys, it fits like a glove. Let me close this so I can show you that it does close. But anyways, let me open it back up. But yeah, guys, I mean, I probably put the golf clubs the other way around, and you could probably fit it a different way, but I just want to show you guys real quick that you could definitely fit your golf clubs. And of course, this part right here, you could take it off because it kind of separates the luggage space from the front real quick. But I took it off just so I could fit the golf clubs, and you can see that it fits. There's plenty more space in there to be able to go grocery shopping as well if you really want to. Go grocery shopping in this beautiful A12 Superfast. So there you go, guys, it fits. So I'm super happy about that, and I'm sure whoever owns this car is super happy about that as well. This car does have a nice little lever right there, so you can put your hand in there and close the trunk of this car, and there you go, it's closed. And there is a Porsche driving around here, that's why you hear that noise. But there you go, guys, that's it. The golf clubs fit. You're able to close the trunk pretty easily, and there's plenty of space in there. What more can you ask? All right, guys, so now that I'm in the interior of this 2019 Ferrari 812 Superfast, I'm super in love with this car. Not only are the seats super comfortable, and you can tell that this car is for driving and being comfortable. It's not so much of a race car, but it still has the grunt power of it. And you know what? I want to put a clip of how the exhaust sounds, because this car does sound like a friggin' F1 car. So I'm going to put a clip in right there. As you were able to hear from that exhaust, it just sounds nuts, in my opinion. So yeah, it's crazy. If you haven't seen the video already that I compared it to an A12 Superfast, I did a rev battle between them. So if you haven't seen that, make sure to check it out. You'll be able to see the differences between a twin turbo V8 and a naturally aspirated V12. The V12, in my opinion, sounds a lot better. But anyways, I'll leave that up to you guys. But anyways, continuing with the interior of this car. Now, there are plenty of carbon fiber pieces everywhere on this car, starting with the steering wheel. The steering wheel is carbon fiber on top, flat bottom steering wheel, and it looks identical to the F8 Tributo. I think it's pretty much the exact same thing. I think a lot of those steering wheels look like this for Ferrari, which I have no complaints for, because they're absolutely beautiful and they're very comfy. You have all the different mode settings here. You put in race, sport, wet, whatever, and it's all here right in your hands. And of course, the engine start stop button is right there, so that way you can control everything. Now, moving along, there's carbon fiber pieces everywhere, like I mentioned, and this door is going to close on me, but there's carbon fiber pieces everywhere, especially here in the dash. What I absolutely do love, that Ferrari made this very analytical and simple. And what I mean by that is that on the left you have a screen, right, and it's controlled by these controls right here on the left hand side, and on the right you have another screen, and that's controlled by these controls right here on the right hand side. And of course, they are surrounded with carbon fiber, which is super nice. And I really like that. I really like that Ferrari thought about it and they made it look that way and feel that way, because it's very user friendly in my opinion. So that's pretty cool. And of course there's more carbon fiber over the different the air vents on this car, and of course it says Ferrari right here, and there's carbon fiber there as well. I mean, just carbon fiber everywhere, guys. I'm just gonna sound like a broken record here. Moving on down here to the center console, there's more carbon fiber, of course. And here's where you have your gear selectors for reverse. And you know, I think that's pretty cool that it has reverse here. But of course, Ferrari fashion, if you want to put in first or neutral, you press to put in first, you press the paddle shifter, and it puts it in first, the right paddle shifter. And if you want to put it in neutral, you just click both of them at the same time and it puts it on neutral, and that's pretty much it. So that's actually pretty cool. The only thing I do have a little complaint on has to be this screen right here. So when you're gonna put in reverse, so you put my foot on my brake, on the brake here, and you put reverse right there, and there's a little bit of beeping noise, but the screen is actually kind of small, and you do have sensors throughout the entire car, so it tells you what you're gonna hit or whatnot. But the only thing I don't like is that when you're turning, you can see that I'm kind of getting in the way of what I'm about to hit. So I could see how that could bother some people, you know, especially if there's like a pole on your left hand side and you're like turning in the middle of the way, you can't see where you're going. So I can see how that bothers some people and whatnot. But let me put this thing in neutral, and you do that by just pressing both paddles on either side, and you're back in neutral right there. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, that's the only gripe that I have about this car, is just that you know, the reverse camera, it kind of gets in the way when you're turning. I wish it would have made like a maybe another little screen here, but that's just my opinion. Maybe they do it in the future, and that's pretty much it. Next thing, I absolutely love these seats, black with this white stripe in the middle, leather of course, and it just ties in everything very nicely together. Whoever spec'd this car, or Ferrari just ordered like this, I think they did a great job. Being black and white, I love the different color scheme, and it just follows it everywhere. The doors, you see that it's black leather with white stitching, and then all here on the top of the dash is more leather, which is very soft, and white stitching as well. So I really like it, and you know, I think Ferrari did a great job, or whoever spec'd it did a great job, of course. Now the sound system is it looks like JBL audio. That does sound pretty nice, but you know, if I'm going to be driving this car, I don't think I'm going to be listening to music, to be quite honest with you. I'm probably going to be listening to the car, have the windows down, and just listen to that beautiful exhaust. It sounds like an F1 car. Again, if you want to hear it, just reverse or rewind this video and go and hear the exhaust, and you'll fall in love just like how I did. Now, continuing down the center console, there is cup holders. There's one cup holder, so that's actually pretty good for all you owners of supercars. You are able to put a cup right here, maybe a 7-Eleven cup. It's not that deep, but you know what, at least you have something there. And of course the window controls are right here in the center as well. They're not on the doors, so that's pretty cool. And under the armrest, there's a little bit of storage area, not so much, but it's big enough to fit like my iPhone 11 Plus or Pro Plus. And of course it's just leather, perforated leather in the center, and white stitching everywhere else, so that's pretty cool. And then just going to the back, the storage space is actually pretty freaking nice. I mean, you saw that you were able to fit a set of golf clubs back there, and there's plenty more room where that came from. So yeah, guys, I absolutely love this car. Let me know if you guys love this car too, because I absolutely did. Now, driving this car, it drives very smooth. Of course, once you put it in race mode, it's a completely different animal, but in my opinion, it drives very smooth. Of course, it does rev to 9,000 RPM, so it's just insane. So I think you want to keep it always at 9,000 RPM just so you can hear that sound. But it does drive very nice, and once you put it on race mode, it makes a huge difference in the car, just because the steering wheel gets so heavy and you just feel so connected to the car. So that's really cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I think I talked about everything on this car. It does have a very cool little button here, so you could open this storage area right here. It's not that big, but it has a button there, so you could open it and store more stuff in there. And then of course you have your different settings, so you could have the settings for whoever sits here. You have 3 settings here, and that's pretty much it. The air controls are the same as in the F8 Tributo. I feel like they're whatever. There's dual climate control, of course, but the buttons, I feel like they could have been a little bit more techy, maybe a little bit newer, but you know, it's right to the point. Like you know exactly where you're touching when you see it, so it's right to the point. I kind of like it. The knobs feel high quality, and you know, they don't move around, and everything else just feels super high quality. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I sure as hell enjoyed making this video, of course, with this 812 Superfast and then the F8 Tribute tool that I have next to me. And if you haven't seen those videos, please make sure to check them out. Subscribe to my channel. I am trying to hit a 500 subscriber goal by June of 2020, and let's get like 100 something likes in this video, maybe 110. Let's make a weird number. 110 likes on this video, that'd be great. It does help with YouTube's algorithm, you know, whatever they have programmed there. But anyways, guys, if you did enjoy it, I'll see you guys here on the next review. Peace.